Arts Upload continues here at the Kemper Museum of Contemporary Art, and wouldn't you know, we've got another story now about someone who puts things down on paper.
But Bob Holloway does it in journals, which he fills with sketches and drawings that he makes of the things he encounters as he travels around town.
For years, Bob made his living as a commercial illustrator, but as Julie Denechet discovered, these more recent personal works are something else altogether.
And my journal is what went on each day. There's humor in it and funny things I see, and I write in it what's happening that day, but then I illustrate it as well. And there's happy moments and there's sad moments. You know, it's life, good or bad. I've been an artist all my life. That's been my career, and it was just a natural thing to do. I just wanted to write down what I saw and enjoyed, but I do it daily. You have to do it daily. If it piles up, you forget, plus it's no fun. This particular journal is book 40. In other words, I've been doing it a while, and there's almost a year in each journal, so I've probably been doing it for 40 years. I start with the front and record which journal it's going to be. It's Bob's book 40 or whatever. Then I come to the first page, and the thought that comes to me is that, how can I outdo myself? I want something really good on the first page. In here are events recorded, fun things that happen, galleries that I go to, things I've seen at the galleries. So I want something exciting on the first page. And then it gets easy. Then it's just everyday doldrums, you know. But I try to make them fun too. Thursday nights, a group gets together for life drawing with a live model. They just ask anybody to come and sit. And I love to do that. That's my favorite thing. I've dreamed of being a portrait painter, but I don't think I'll ever quite get there.
No, her leg just looked really long when she did that.
When I start a day in the journal, I usually start with a star, and I write out the day of the week as a heading for the beginning of the day. It's also my calendar, reminds me what I've got to do that day. And the older you get, you know, the better it is to remind yourself of what's going to happen. And some are happy days, and then some days pay bills, and that's a frowning face that day. I'm an art fair artist. In other words, I do art fairs. I did art fairs all over, from New England to Arizona, from Minnesota to Texas, all around, lots of places in between. I was never devoted to any certain thing till I got to art, and somehow I just felt like I came home. So that's the most important thing I think that happened, is that I found myself. And I was good at it. Maybe I had a natural talent, who knows. I found something I could do and enjoy. That's the most important thing, yeah. And that's what drives you, really. Something you're good at. This is my granddaughter. It's Gretchen with an attitude. It was Charlie's birthday, her brother's birthday, and he was getting all the attention. I looked over there. She said, I need a little attention too. I drive around town a lot until I see something I like. I go all over. I'm pretty interested in a lot of things. This is the sketch of the day, I call it. It's the Scarrett Arcade downtown. I like all kinds of different architecture. Of course, old architecture is my favorite, but I appreciate all architecture. And I love this. This is on Gillum, and an old apartment building, and the name of it is Paradise Flats. Diaries are important and worthwhile doing. Just think where we would be in our history if it wasn't for diaries kept by prominent people like Jefferson and Adams. We know a lot because what was kept in diaries. I have friends that look at the diary and said, oh, I've been meaning to do that. Very few of them get started at it. You know? Because if you don't sort of grow up doing it, you know, it's hard to start sometimes. And you don't have to illustrate it. Maybe you're not an artist. Maybe you're a writer, and that's a great journal too. Write your own story down, because if you have children, someday they'll enjoy that. And you'll enjoy remembering some of those things.